Deep in a valley where morning mist clings to ancient hills, there lived a boy who had given up on himself. His name was Ethan. While other students raced through textbooks with ease, Ethan sat frozen, words blurring on the page, his mind a battlefield of fear and doubt. Every failed test felt like proof. Every laugh from his classmates echoed louder than thunder. Maybe I'm just broken, he thought. But what Ethan didn't know was that in exactly 7 days, everything would change. Because sometimes the answers we're searching for are hidden in the simplest places. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the empty classroom. Most students had rushed out the moment the bell rang, but Ethan stood at the doorway, watching Mr. Harris, the philosophy teacher, sitting quietly at his desk. There was something about Mr. Harris. He never shouted, never judged. His eyes held a kind of wisdom that made you feel safe. Ethan's feet moved before his mind caught up. "Sir?" His voice barely rose above a whisper. Mr. Harris looked up and, without a word, gestured to the chair beside him. Ethan sat. The silence stretched. Finally, the words tumbled out, raw and unfiltered. "I can't do this anymore, sir. I try so hard, but nothing stays in my head. I look at a page and it's like my brain just shuts down. Everyone thinks I'm stupid. Maybe they're right." The teacher didn't rush to respond. He let the words hang in the air, acknowledging their weight. Then he smiled, not with pity, but with recognition. "Ethan, what if I told you that your struggle isn't a weakness? What if the very thing that makes learning hard for you right now is exactly what will make you unstoppable later?" Ethan blinked. No one had ever said anything like that to him before. "I'm going to share something with you. 5 ancient principles that masters have used for centuries. Not tricks, not shortcuts, but truths about how the human mind actually works. Are you ready?" Mr. Harris reached into his bag and pulled out a glass jar filled with cloudy, swirling water, dirt suspended throughout. "Tell me what you see." "Dirty water," Ethan said simply. "Good. Now watch." The teacher set the jar on the desk between them. At first, nothing happened. The water remained turbulent, murky, impossible to see through. But as the minutes passed, something extraordinary occurred. The particles began to settle, slowly, grain by grain. The chaos descended to the bottom, and clarity rose to the top. Within an hour, the water was crystal clear. "Your mind is this jar, Ethan." Mr. Harris's voice was gentle but firm. "Right now, it's filled with fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. Add to that the constant noise, social media, comparisons, worry about the future, regret about the past." He tapped the jar. "All of this keeps your thoughts stirred up. You can't see clearly through muddy water." "But sir, how do I make it clear?" "You stop shaking the jar." Mr. Harris taught him a simple practice. Before studying, sit in silence. Close your eyes. Focus only on your breath. 5 minutes. That's it. Let the mud settle. Only then can you truly see. The secret: a cluttered mind cannot learn. Clarity comes from stillness. The next day, Mr. Harris lit a single candle and placed it on the desk. "Focus on this flame. Only this flame. Nothing else exists." Ethan tried. Within seconds, his mind wandered to the test next week, to what his friends said at lunch, to a video he watched last night. The flame flickered. He lost it. "Bring your attention back," Mr. Harris said softly. "No judgment, just gently return." Again, and again, and again. After 10 minutes, something shifted. Ethan found himself genuinely watching the flame dance and sway. His breathing slowed. Time seemed to stretch. "What you're experiencing right now," the teacher explained, "is the power of the present moment. Your mind can only be in one place at a time, but we scatter it across yesterday, tomorrow, 100 different worries." He leaned forward. "When you study, your mind will wander. That's natural. Your power isn't in never losing focus. It's in noticing when you've drifted and choosing to return every single time." The secret: mastery isn't about perfect focus. It's about the patient return. Mr. Harris produced two objects, a dry sponge and a smooth stone. He poured water over both. The sponge absorbed it instantly, expanding and coming alive. The stone? The water simply rolled off, leaving it unchanged. "Most students," Mr. Harris said, "try to be the stone." Ethan looked confused. "They think learning is about hardness, about forcing information to stick through sheer repetition, cramming, memorization, but information bounces off a hard surface." He held up the sponge. "The students who truly learn are soft, curious, open. They don't just memorize, they absorb. They ask why, they connect new ideas to what they already know, they visualize, they imagine. They play with concepts until understanding soaks in naturally." Mr. Harris squeezed the sponge and water dripped out. And when you need it later, it's there, still inside, because you absorbed it, not just touched it. The secret? Understanding is absorption. Memorization is just surface contact. On the desk lay a thick wooden block, solid, intimidating, impossible to break. "Break it," Mr. Harris said. Ethan tried. He pushed, pulled, hit it against the table. Nothing. The teacher said nothing. He simply picked up a saw and cut the block into 10 smaller pieces. Then he handed one to Ethan. Snap. It broke easily. Your textbook is this block. That giant chapter on physics or history? It's overwhelming because you're trying to swallow it whole. He arranged the small pieces in a line. But what if you studied just one small section today? 20 minutes, that's it. Tomorrow, another piece. Before you know it, you've conquered the entire block, but you never had to face it all at once. He added one more insight. And between each piece, rest, walk, breathe. Your brain consolidates information during breaks. The pause is part of the learning. The secret? Giants fall to those who fight them inch by inch. Mr. Harris showed Ethan 2 small pots with seeds planted in each. This one, he said, pointing to the left, I'll water every single day, just a little, consistently. And this one, Ethan asked, I'll water it heavily on Monday, then nothing for 3 days, then heavily again. They waited. After 2 weeks, the first pot had a vibrant green shoot reaching toward the sun. The second pot? Dry, cracked, dead. You can't binge learning any more than you can binge watering a plant. 15 minutes every day beats 3 hours once a week. Because growth happens in the quiet, consistent moments, not in desperate last-minute floods. The secret? Small daily actions compound into extraordinary results. Ethan started applying these 5 secrets. The first week, nothing seemed to change. He felt foolish sitting with his eyes closed, watching his breath. The second week, small glimmers. He noticed he could sit longer without his mind exploding with distractions. By the 4th week, something had shifted. The words on the page weren't enemies anymore. They were puzzles,
waiting to be solved. 3 months later, his test scores had doubled. But more importantly, and this is what Mr. Harris had been waiting for, Ethan began to enjoy learning. That fear that had wrapped around his throat for so long, it loosened, then fell away. Today, Ethan stands in front of his own classroom as a teacher. When he sees a student struggling, eyes down, shoulders slumped, he sees himself, and he remembers the muddy water that taught him about stillness, the candle flame that taught him about return, the sponge that taught him about absorption, the broken block that taught him about patience, the 5 2 seeds that taught him about consistency. 5 simple truths, not complex, not expensive, not requiring genius, just true. So if you're watching this and you feel like Ethan once did, like you're not smart enough, not good enough, not capable enough, know this: your struggle is not your identity. It's simply the sound of transformation beginning. The 5 secrets are yours now. Will you use them? Your small, consistent efforts today are the seeds of the extraordinary life you'll live tomorrow. Take the first step. Calm your mind. Focus on now. Understand deeply. Break it down. Show up daily. That's all mastery has ever been. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to join our community of learners who refuse to give up. Your next chapter begins now.